Welcome to our Amud Yom Shir Maseches Shabbos Daf Lamed Aleph Amud Beis in the bottom of the page or the Mishnah. Famous Mishnah. This Mishnah is the Nishmas of Meir Menachem and Akiva Rus Bas Shalom Sor Bas Moshe Le Atzlochas Kol Klal Yisrael Zivug Hogun Le'avu V'Ashir Liba Basas. Says the Mishnah Al Sholosh Averos Noshim Esas B'Shas Leidoson. There are three averos, three sins that women commit, and because of them, Hashem punishes them to die at childbirth. In other words, if a woman dies at childbirth, most probably it's because of one of those three reasons. Al she'enan zehiros banida b'chala b'adlokas haner, because they were not careful with either nida, the halachos of nida, chala, or lighting the Shabbos candle. By the way, this is one of the sources that b'chlal there is a mitzvah of adlokas haner. I told you at the beginning of the perek, it's not so simple that there's a source in the Mishnah for a chiyuv of adlokas haner on Shabbos, and here we see, according to some Rishonim, that is the makor. Yeah? You see that the woman has to light the candle, and it's her chiyuv, not the husband's l'chatchila. Says the Gemara, nida my timer. What's the reason that nida, a woman who is not careful with nida should die at childbirth? Why is it nida keneged nida? Amar Bitzchok, he kilkala b'chadri bitno. She was kilkala, says Rashi, marda. She was marda. She was rebellious. She on purpose did not keep nida well enough. It's not talking about someone who made a mistake. It's a person, a woman who was mekalkel. She on purpose was not careful enough in her chadre bitna, in her womb, in her innards, in her womb. Lafikach tilke b'chadre bitna. That's why mida keneged mida, she'll be punished in the same place where she was not careful. Now, frek the Gemara, okay, teinach nida. I understand nida makes sense. That's very much mida keneged mida. Mida keneged nida. But chala v'adlokas haner, Michael Meimar. Chala and adlokas haner, what do they have to do with childbirth? What's the connection between chala and lighting Shabbos candles and giving birth? Answers the Gemara, there was someone from the Galil, Talmud Chochem from the Galil, and he gave that drosha. He was learning this drosha from the pasuk in front of Rav Chizda. What did he say? Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, Revi'is dam nasati bochem, al iske dam izarti eschem. Which means I gave you one revi'is of dam, the life of a person, according to in Hashkafas HaTorah, revi'is dam, one revi'is of dam, a person only needs one revi'is of dam to live by. I don't know how that works with science today, but that's what it says. Revi'is is a very, very small amount of blood. A person only needs one revi'is of dam in order to live. So I am the one who gave you life. Dam, blood is life. I gave you life through blood, and I warned you about iske dam. I warned you about nida. You have to keep nida. That's your life force, and nida is connected the life force that I gave you. Now, what's the other thing? Reishis korasi eschem. Now this dam is about every human being, and we Jewish people have to be especially careful. Reishis is something only to do with us as a nation. Reishis korasi eschem. I told you, I gave you the special title, the definition of reishis, the first ones. Rashi says reishis tvuoso, Israel. It says that Am Yisrael is the first one. B'nai b'choiri, we are Hashem's first and chosen nation. Al iske reishis izarti eschem. And I warned you about reishis, which is chala. Chala is called reishis arisosechem. The first thing you take out of the dough before you eat, before you bake, is the chala. That's the first one that goes to the kohen. And now the third one, neshama shenasati bochem kuyo ner. The neshama I gave in you, up until now we had the physical part and the national part, so to speak. Now we have the spiritual part. That's a third aspect. I gave you the spirit, the neshama called ner, ner Hashem nishmas odom, al iske ner izarti esren. And I warned you about the ner, right? Now you have to light the candle, keneged, the ruchni side, the neshama, you have to light the Shabbos candle. So now, imate mekayimim oisom mutav. If you keep it, how good, how well, how great, good. If you don't keep any or one of the three aspects that Hashem gave you, the physical, the spiritual, or the special the special aspect of a Yid, of a Jew that's first, then I'll take away your soul. Well, obviously the question is, why women? That can apply to men too. So Rashi says, we can look up in Rashi. Look at the middle of the second line of Rashi. The Nashim nitztavu al kach. Women were commanded about these three things. It was all the responsible of the woman. She keeps the house. She keeps everything going. She's the one who perished the chala of the world. Why chala? Shal yoda nitrad odom arishon shenitram kechala. Odom arishon, mamish like kechala, right? He was taken from the best part of the world, like dough, like mud. Right? He was taken from the earth. It was from Harabais, the best place, right? So he was like a chala, and she destroyed him. The kibsaneo shaloilam, and she extinguished his fire, his soul. Yeah, she caused death because it's hadas. That's what caused death. The shav chodamoy, and she spilled his blood. The oid, and another reason shetzok abais tluin bo. That's always famous in halacha. They always say, why do women have to light the Shabbos candles? First, because of the chet of Chava, and also tzok abais. The need of chala, adlokas haner are the home duties, and the home depends on the wife. So now let's continue. Now, umayishna b'shas leidoson. Continue in the Gemara, the fifth line of the Gemara. Why dafka a time of birth? In other words, I understand that women, have to be punished if they don't keep the basic mitzvahs that are the feminine mitzvahs. But why dafka time of birth? Why not, I don't know, on Rosh Hashanah? I don't know when, any other time. It's a birthday. Why dafka when she gives birth? Answers the Gemara, Omar Rove. He's saying like Rashi says, Moshel Hediot, like the way people say it, says Rove, Nofel Toiro Chaded L'Sakina. If the bull falls, then the shochet says, let's sharpen the knife. I was once in the shechita house. It's very hard to make the show. I saw the bulls. To actually lie down properly before the shechtit. They have to hold it. It's not so nice. But if the bull falls, great. It already fell. Yalla, let's chaparain. Let's seize the opportunity and sharpen the knife. Same thing over here. When a woman is there about to give birth, that's kilo her point of weakness. She's already at a weak point. Then midas hadin chapsarain. Midas hadin is hanging there all the time. As long as the woman goes b'derech hateva, she walks around, she does what she wants. But once she comes to a point of weakness, a turning point where she is already weak, because Leida is a complicated thing. We all know in countries that are not advanced, even now there's a lot of people died at childbirth. Today we have modern medicine, but still, it's always a sakana. You always say tilim, when your wife gives birth, right? Even today. So because it's a time of sakana, now we chaparan and midas hadin, is already kilu, as we're going to see later on, is already asking, is it or isn't it worth it to get her out of sakana? It's because she's being retested. Should she get out of sakana or not? And the same mashal plays around here in different ways. The same idea. Abai says, Tofi steros amsa bichad machter lehevi. That's a bit hard. Teros is lehatris. Amsa, there's an ama, there's a maid servant, what you call it, like a servant, a maid servant, a maid, and she is matrisa, she's mechutzav, she's insolent, she doesn't listen, So then what do we do? Bechad machter lehevi, when she, in one machtera, with one chutra, with one hit of the stick, we punish her for everything, right? In other words, all types of punishments. When the time comes, we punish her and we hit her for many, many different things. So when a woman is in childbirth, that's the moment of weakness. Now we chaparine and we punish her for many different things she did in the past. Rav Chizda Omar, Shavke leravia, leave the shikr alone. The shikr, let's say when to punish a shikr, a drunkard, then you don't have to do anything. Let him fall. He's going to fall anyways. The menafshe nofil. He falls anyways. You don't have to do anything. So too, Rashi says, a woman, once she needs to ask rachamim from Hashem to open her rechem, and he doesn't, it happens by itself. You don't have to do anything to the shikr. He's going to fall, fall into the mud, fall into his vomit. So to the woman, I don't have to do anything active. The mere fact that she's there in sakana and I don't open her womb for her, she's going to die. That alone is already the punishment. I saw why do we need so many different mashalim. So I saw in the Dirshu a very nice summary. So it said this has to do with Ravia is to do with a shikr drinks wine, and that's similar to dam nida. Dam nida is like wine. He brings down from another Gemara. Now the next one is about the other Avera. Mar Ukva Omar. Mar Ukva says, Raya Chigra, the Roye, the shepherd is lame. The shepherd, he doesn't walk right, he's lame. The easy Riatan and the easy the goats, they run. They keep running and they make fun of him. They run ahead. They run ahead and they do trouble. You know, the kids in Cheder, you know, they start running around, making rokas. Above chutra mili. When it comes to the chutra, to the place of the pen, to the place of the enclosure, then he's going to mili. Then he's going to punish them, and he'll medaber v'beidari chushbena. Then in the place of dari, the place of the deer, yeah, where they live, where the pen of the tzon, there he's going to have cheshbon with them, chushbena. In other words, he'll basically close the account with them, as they say, yavo cheshbon, like bo cheshbon. So he says the idea of cheshbon is like challah, because challah has to be taken 124th or 148th. So challah is like cheshbon. That's the second one. The Rav Pope Omer, the third one, abab chanvoso nefishi achu merachmi. When somebody's in the store and he bought something nice, yeah, in the shop, everyone loves you, everyone gives you good service. Nefishi, there are many achi, everyone, a lot of people treat you as brother, merachmi, and friends, yeah. But above bizyoini, when you have a place where you are bizyoini, when a person is, what's bizyoini? Obviously, when a person is disgraced, when a person is unsuccessful, bizyoini, says Rashi, hefsed ve'oini, hefsed ve'oini, yeah? It's a place of loss and poverty, a place of that, lo achvi lo merachmi, that's reality, right? When a person is successful, everyone wants to be his friends. A person falls financially, socially, nobody wants to be his friend. Same thing is over here, same thing is up here. So that is about the ner. Why? The third one is comparable to the candle, because the Gemara said before, it's one of the dapim we didn't do together, is the person that's very poor doesn't have light. So when you're poor and you feel bizoyan, no shalom bayis, it's all darkness, that's the woman who didn't light the candles properly. The Gavri, frag the Gemara, what many people would ask, what about men? Hey, don't men also have their time? The Gavri, heicham yivdiki, what time, at what point of life is it that men are being tested? Men are not tzaddikim either. Men also have a lot of averas, and therefore, when is it that Hashem tests the men to see when they deserve or do not deserve? Rashi says, "Lehazkir avoinam vizchusam." Rashi is a few lines below. Yeah. When do we know that men? At what point do men are tested to see if they deserve or don't deserve to be saved? Yeah, and the zchusim have to stand, or unfortunately, there aren't enough zchusim, and they're going to die. Rosh Lakish says, whenever they cross a bridge, yeah, whenever they cross a bridge, when they cross a bridge is dangerous. Even today, I saw, like I heard in France or some very advanced country, every once in a while, in America, recently there was, right, in Atlanta, where was it, somewhere? Yeah, every once in a while, there are very fancy choshev bridges in Western countries, 2023, and they collapse, and hundreds of people die with cars, trains, it happens. So when you're on a bridge, it's always like a din, it's a sakana. So when the person is in sakana, then Hashem judges whether he should or should not continue and live. Correct the Gemara, Gesher v'tuloi, is that the only time? Male childbirth, everyone gives birth, almost everyone. But a bridge, okay, I'll avoid bridges. I'll keep sinning. I don't want to go on the bridge. I'll manage to somehow, not go on bridges. Answers the Gemara, Ema ke'ein gesher. You didn't understand Rish Lakish. Rish Lakish meant anywhere which is similar, tantamount to bridge, which means what? Any place of sakono. Rashi says, Kol mokum sakono. Kigon kir notui v'yoytzel aderech. Let's say you are passing by a kir notui. You're passing by a wall, and the wall has this sign, dangerous sakona, it's going to be demolished by the area next month, and it's been already a few years, yeah? And you pass by there. It's not echad, a lot of people cross the bridge. A lot of people go by that wall, which is a bit shaky. Or yoytzel aderech. You go to, on the other hand, these places are sakona. It sounds like a potential sakona. I saw again the road there in the deer was something very nice. These things are not super dangerous. It's not like you're going to the lion's den. There you really need a lot of schusim. You have to be like Daniel. On the other hand, you're not sitting at home. It's somewhere in between. It's something normal but dangerous. Like giving birth. Every normal woman gives birth. It's still danger. Every normal man goes, sometimes you have places in Rishut Rabim, a bit unsafe, or bridge. Everyone crosses a bridge. It's not echad, it's normal. It's part of your life, life cycle. On the other hand, it's a little bit dangerous. It's always a new question. Maybe this time the bridge will fall. Maybe this time the wall, which was always about to fall, maybe now it's going to fall. Every time, Ki'ilu, the question mark is Ki'ilu being created by Kodesh Baruch Hu, and you need a lot of schusim to survive that bridge or that, funny kind of wall that's, threatening you. That's the idea. Yeah, it's always a new question. We're going to see stories of the Amoraim about that. Rav loy over b'mavra de Yosef be'akum. Rav would never sit and cross the river with Mavra. Mavra is like a special boat that goes in rivers. Yeah, like not hovercraft. Hovercraft is too modern. There's a word for it in English. Yeah, but it's a boat for rivers. Yeah, and Rav would never sit in such a boat and travel and sail in such a boat. The Yosef be'akum, with an Ovid of the Zara, a person Ovid of the Zara, Omar, he said, Dilma mifkid leidina alei ubatpisna ba'adei. Maybe HaKadosh Baruch Hu will finally punish that Ovid of the Zara, even if he's a goy. Goyim are not supposed to be Ovid of the Zara. Hashem is really angry with him all the time. Maybe now Hashem will finally chapi ubatpisna ba'adei. And maybe, although Hatzur Tomim Pa'aloi, there is a concept, Buvakam Daf Samech, famous concept, which we know in Yitzias Mitzrayim. I'm not relying on my zchusim, says Rav. Maybe with him too, I'll be nitfas, I'll be caught, I'll be chapped. So I prefer not sitting together with a goy in such a mavar. With Yidden, he trusts more that they're better and Hashem has more, they have more zchusim. Shmuel, over Shmuel was just the opposite of Rav. Many times Rav and Shmuel argue. Shmuel would only sit in a boat together with a guy over the Zara. Why? Omar, he said, interesting yesod, sitna betrei umi loy shalit. The Satan, the Malach HaMavis, the Satan, does not have control of two different people from two different nations. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. They say in the story of Yoina, Yonah Novi, so he was together with other people. The punishment was regarding him, right? So he was supposed to be punished, but not them. So that's why the boat was shaky. But really, there was no, I'm not sure actually it's a good raya. In other words, the boat was shaking, but really HaKadosh Baruch Hu wasn't going to punish him. Once he was thrown, then the boat was okay. You see, I don't know. You see, not like that. You see that otherwise the boat would have sunk, even though there were two nations. So I don't know how actually that works out, but that's what we say here. Interesting. I don't know. I really don't know how that works. I have to admit. But Lamaisa, Shmuel held that the Sultan does not control, doesn't take hold of two different nations, and therefore what? And therefore each one is like security for the other one. That's an interesting yesod which needs limud. I'm not sure why that works. I have to admit I didn't have much time to prepare today to get too much depth there, but that's what Shmuel holds. His shita is that the Sultan does not punish two people together from two different nations. Rabbi Yanai, Badik the Ovar. Rabbi Yanai would always check for security, making sure that there's no hole in the boat. Simple. Shlohi Banekev. He would always, before going in the boat, he would make security check. The Ovar, and only then he would sit in the boat and actually sail in the boat. Rabbi Yanai l'taimei. Rabbi Yanai followed his own reasoning. The Omar said Rabbi Yanai, la'olam al yamad adam b'mkoim sakono. A person, and that's halacha. That's the whole thing. Halacha people don't know that. People go jumping, bungeeing, and all that. It's not so simple. Bungee jumping. I mean, a person should not stand in the place of sakono. Loimal she'oisin loines. A person would say, I trust Hashem. I have bitochen. Don't we all grow? Don't we all, believe in bitochen b'Hashem? So I have bitochen, and I know Hashem will create a miracle for me, and therefore I'll have to go to a dangerous place. You're not allowed to do that. You can't go on a boat that you're not sure. If you're not sure that the boat is really nice and functional and safe, why? Shem ein oisin loines. First of all, who says Hashem will create an ace for you? In other words, you don't. When you say Hashem will create an ace for me, that's very gaivadik. It's very arrogant. I deserve an ace. Who says you deserve an ace? It's true that Hashem can provide, but you have to beg Hashem, please give me what I need. But it doesn't mean that Hashem has to listen to you. We have to trust Hashem, but we also know Hashem is not a coke, it's not a vending machine. I'm going to get what I need from Hashem. Either He will, especially an ace. Who says he deserves an ace? Who says the chinuch? I saw one of the Rishonim says only nisim. Who says the Rambam? I saw a Rishon saying from the Rishonim. Some either nisim are only done to the tzibur, the whole tzibur, or to tzaddikim. But mamish, an open miracle normally doesn't happen to a regular person. What do you think? You're a tzaddik? Who says you're a tzaddik? Are you many people? No, you're one guy. You're not supposed to believe Hashem will create an ace for me. Now, let's say Hashem will create an ace for you. He'll take it away. He'll reduce. He'll deduct from the zchusim you have. Let's say you have X amount of zchusim in Shamayim of merits. You're taking many merits points from your account in Shamayim. You don't want that either. How will you come to Gan Eden like? Yeah, what's going to happen after 120? Right? All these chutzim were taken for that silly sail in the boat, which was unsafe. Hashem had to dig into your savings, your spiritual savings, to save you. You don't want that. When I have a better place in Olam Haba, what for? Amar Rabbi Chanin, Micro, what is the pasuk that tells us that really when a person gets an ace, receives an ace, it comes on the expense of the regular Zchuyos account? It says the famous line by Yaakov Avinu, we're not greater than him. Yeah, I am smaller from all the chasadim in kol emes. In other words, Yaakov Avinu was concerned, here's Esav, and I'm katonti. In other words, maybe I don't have enough, to face Esav. I need tons and tons of schusim, him and 400 people, yeah, maybe I'm using up my rights of the chasadim and emes. That's all Torah, chasadim, emes. However you look at it, yeah, I have X amount of points in Shamayim, and I'm scared that if Hashem will save me from Esav, that will take away from my zchusim. Rabbi Zera, now following the same idea, Rabbi Zera, Yom Deshuta was a day in which the wind was very strong. Rashi says the southern wind, the wind coming from the south, was very strong. Yeah, mamish like a hurricane. You would, mamish eradicate, pull out trees, and everything would be flying around, like in America. He would never go, between the palm trees. He was scared that maybe a palm tree was falling him. Eyes in the moira, Hashem protects him. Yes, but that would be on the cheshbon of other basic ideas. Why should they use up mischusim? We're talking about Yaakov Avinu, Reb Zera, all the more so regular people like us. Amar B'Yitzchak Breder of Yehuda. What we're going to see now is again Agadata, but it also has to do with the halachas of a goymel. Amar B'Yitzchak Breder of Yehuda. Rabbi Yitzchak, the son of Rav Yehuda, said as follows: You should always ask Hashem to stay healthy and not to become sick. You should always ask Hashem not to turn sick, not to debilitate. Once a person is sick already, as we said before about the woman of birth, once the person is like at a weak point, he reached his nadir, he's already weak and sick, then they'll ask him, you want to get out of that situation? You need this chus, you need the special chus, and then you'll be exempt, then we'll get you out of there. Who says even have chusim? But Shenken, as long as you're in the run of the mill of life, you don't need as many chusim, so daven not to get there. Amar Maruk, the Michael, what is the pasuk that alludes to that? It says about the mitzvah of ma'akeh. We all know there's a mitzvah, right, to create, mitzvah kiseitze. It says what? You have to build a fence around your roof. Why? What's going to happen if you don't build a fence around your roof? Right? Because the person who's falling would fall from the roof. Mimenu lahaviraya. We're medak for the words mimenu. In other words, what is mimenu? Mimenu means like from him, he would now need the person who's walking in a roof that's unsafe. Mimenu. Hashem requires from him to bring a proof to basically, he has to bring a raya, a proof that he deserves to live. When he's in a situation of danger, that doesn't exempt, of course, the person. Of course, the balabais is one who has to build defense, obviously. But the person, a noifel, we also stress him. The noifel also deserves maybe to die, mimenu. In other words, he's a noifel, he's walking on this dangerous roof, and if he wants to be saved, he has to bring mimenu, a proof. What are your maisim? Show me something of mimenu from yourself. Hashem is going to open his book and say, no, where is his rights? Where is chusim, mitzvahs, maisim, tovim, Torah? Where is it? I need proofs. I want to be his lawyer, but I need proofs that he's really a good guy to be saved. Tana devel bishmoel. Here comes another famous line. Soon we're going to get to a goimel. Tana devel bishmoel. Yipol hanoifel mimenu. Again, look at the words. Yipol hanoifel. Yipol hanoifel mimenu. The one who's supposed to be falling will fall, right? The Gemara is medayek. Ro is lipa misheshes mei bereshis. Wow. Rashi says koire hadoros meroish. HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows right from sheshes mei bereshis what's going to happen with each and every creature. Now, I'm not going to the question now of Bchira Chofshis. That's a big one. But conceptually, Hashem knows that this guy who's walking on the dangerous roof was anyhow supposed to fall, and that's been predestined from the times of creation. How do you know that? Sharloi nofal, he didn't yet fall. This pasuk is talking about people, Yidden, all over the world, throughout history, 2024. Tafshin Peidalid, Elamai. He didn't yet fall. When the Torah was written, that Reuven Shimon, he didn't yet fall from off the roof, and yet Vakos of Kroi Noifel, right? The pasuk already says, yes, he's the one who's supposed to fall. We know already that this guy's supposed to fall because Hashem knows it. So if he's going to fall anyways, so I'm the balabais, and I'm going to say, who cares? Why do I need to build a fence? It's all up to Hashem. It's all predestined. I'm a big believer. I'm a big balamuna, but I don't have koyach or money to start building a makkeh. He's supposed to fall. Well, it's Gzeras Shamayim. It's decreed by Hashem. Says the Torah. No. Ella, famous line. In other words, yes, we know the zchus comes through a zakai and the choiva through a chayiv, which means that this guy was supposed to fall anyways. That's true. He could have fallen off a cliff, off a roof, off the Goish's friend. He could have fallen through off the Eiffel Tower. I don't know, whichever tower, Trump Tower. Yeah, Elamai, the fact that he fell off your roof, it makes you chayiv still. Yeah, Hashem only is megalgal zchus alidei zakai. Hashem brings about. I think that's a good term in English. Hashem brings about the zchus, the good thing, which anyhow would have happened. But Hashem chooses the good people to bring the good things through them. And bad people or people who act badly, HaKadosh Baruch Hu brings the bad things through them. How do you know the choiva? Here, you didn't build a roof, a fence. That's wrong. You are wrong. You're over mitzvah saseh and you're unsafe. It would have happened anyways, maybe. But the fact that it happened through you is not exactly a compliment for you. What about the zchus alidei zakai? That is in Bava Basra, Yadaf Yutes, about not slavchod. Any other halacha would have been the same halacha anyways. HaKadosh Baruch Hu always knew the halacha that a single daughter, would get Yerusha from her father. So what's the big deal of B'nai Slavchad? There was a kayat, or big tzidkanios. The Gemara Bavasa, Kufyutes, and all around there, the Gemara says there were great women. The Chachamos, they were great, they were tzidkanios. So through them came the halacha. That's a big schus for them. The fact that you are like a conduit for Kodesh Baruch Hu, for something good, is a great thing. It could have been through someone else, but it's still a schus. Yeah, same thing with the Rosh Hashanah. Finally, we come to Hagoimel business. Mishachala v'noto lomus. A person fell ill, and now he is about to die. Loleinu. We tell him now you should say vidu as his halacha. I didn't have time. I apologize to look through the halachas, but you say vidu with a person who's conscious enough. It's very, very tricky because it says vidu is very, very tricky. I don't know halacha l'maisa with my father. I wasn't zerch, unfortunately. I was Mamash Bey's bed like 20 minutes before he was nifter, but I couldn't say vidu. Also, he wasn't conscious already. But l'maisa, it's not so simple because if you say vidu with a person, it makes him feel as if he's about to die, and that's halachically osur. You're not supposed to tell a person you're about to die because psychologically that makes him weaker. Like mekarev his misa. On the other hand, you want him to say vidu. I don't know. We should know these things, but ask your rabbi if it comes to that situation. I don't know. Yeah, but l'maisa, conceptually, you do tell a person who's about to die to say vidu. Why? She can call hamumosin misvadin, which means which mumosin? Those executed by Beis Din, they also say vidui, and that's a great kapara for them. And how do we know that? We know that from Ochon, the one who stole, the one who embezzled, right? In times of Yoshua, Yoshua told him, "Be misvada, and that will be a great kapara for you." They stoned him, but before the stoning, before the pelting, he made vidui. You know what's his vidui? Al ken nekaveh is Rosh Tevis Achan. The second part of Aleinu L'Shabeach was Achan's vidui, or part of it. Al ken nekaveh lecha Hashem Elokeinu, right? You say it every day 3 times. I know, me too. So Al ken nekaveh is Rosh Tevot Achan. That was his video. The first part is Yoshua, and one is from Rochov, the woman. She says one of the psukim, the end is from her. Yeah, and Achan, he was misvade. So from here we learn, and it says it was a great chus for him. He came to Shemayim cleaner. And every person who dies through Beis Din, executed, he does vidui, and that helps him a lot to come to part of his kapara. So to a person who dies by Baruch, it's no different. You misvad at the end of your life, it's a big schus for you. Now, Odom Yotzel Ashuk, if a person goes out to the marketplace, he goes out to the street. Now, I don't mean means any street. Rashi says the street here you see is Mitzuim Shamerivois Baladinim Nochim Israelim. You go out to work, to the workplace, to the market, where there's a lot of balagan, a lot of people fight, a lot of baladinim. One guy can bump into your car, chas v'shalom, another guy will start a policeman, all types of trouble you can have. And if you go out to the shuk, to the street, to a busy street, wow, you should view yourself as if you're already given to a sardiot. Sardiot is the person who takes you to the judge. You already have some kind of din on you when you're out in the street shopping, buying, businessing, there's already some kind of din upon you. Now, chash beroishoy, a person begins to chash beroishoy doesn't mean that he's sick, mamish. If you remember from Daf, I think Yud Aleph, Yud Beis he was. So what's chash beroishoy? Mechush. He feels a slight headache. Yadome ben of commission asanu bekoilo. Wow. He should already view himself as if he's about to be executed in the koilo already. Yeah, in the like that, in the like being strangulated. Like let's say he's now mamish sick, that he is bedridden. He now has to be in bed. It's as if he goes to the gallows, where Rashi says it's worse. The gallows is only for the worst people, or mamish for sure. It's very, very, very hard to get out of there. Any person who goes to the gallows to be judged over there, that's for the worst criminals, Rashi says. You need very, very good, choshev, shark kind of lawyers to be saved out of there. The imlav eno nitzol, and if not, you're not saved. Now, the question obviously is, why are we so strong? Why are we so stark? Just a headache, he fell, right? The pshat is, once a person is out of his norm, there's already a din on him. Even though it's not a very dangerous disease, it's a headache, yeah, but a headache is strong enough for him to stay in bed. According to the Ramban, I once learned the sugi of a goimel very much beyun. So there are like at least 4 different opinions. What's called choilish niswapa that has to say a goimel. According to one opinion, the Aruch says even if you feel a little bit of a headache, something stomaching, you have to say a goimel because you don't know, it can deteriorate. Yeah, don't we all know the horror stories? The child felt not so well. I just thought it's nothing. My own daughter or something. Yeah, and then it's a very dangerous disease. Yeah. So you always have to, now according to Ramban, and that's for starting for sure, I think some Ashkenazim also, if a person is in bed for 3 days, and his mom like bedridden 3 days, he has to say Goima. Ask your rabbi, but I would. Baruch Hashem I wasn't, but yeah, if you're 3 days in bed, like mamish, as we say, ois mensch, you're dysfunctional, 3 days in bed, for sure, Pardim I would for sure say, but I think even for Ashkenazim, why? Why is that? Today we tend to think, no, it's good. No, it's not nothing. There was a din on you, and you're saved from the din. What's that? A gomel chayovim toivos. A gomel chayovim means I was really chayev. I don't deserve to be saved from anything, not even from a plane ride, because I have a lot of averos. Hashem did a favor to me that even though I'm chayev, He saved me. Lo mishtanei merufua. I'll tell you why. Afuch. But according to, no, I don't know who you're talking about. No. Drachim are more dangerous. No, depends where. Drachim, if you're in a place where there is no. The only thing that changed in a goimel nowadays, and that much I do know, I think, and that is that in the past, the midbar or the forest were not controlled by anybody. There was no man's lands, and that was controlled by gangsters, by shoidudim, by highwaymen. And today you can call the police. That's the only difference. If you go into an Arab village today, for sure you have to say goimel. Alai, really. Yes. Why? Because of course they would kill you. I'm very dangerous Arab village. Because although there is police and there's this, okay, you're in the business more than me. But let's say there's a place where even the police doesn't go, or the army, whichever place, they can pelt you with stones before anybody would come to help you. You said them, even if nothing happened, because that is a place where there is no control by any normal government, and there are such places today too. But anyway, to be continued. Now the Gemara starts being more positive. The Eilen Praklitin Shel Odom. Now you need a good lawyer to be saved from what? From lying in bed with a headache. What are the Praklitin of the person, the lawyers? Tshuva Maisim Toivim. Oh, Tshuva Maisim Toivim. Then Akash Baruch Hu reads your rights, your Tshuva and your Maisim Toivim. You do Tshuva when you're in bed with a headache, and you do Maisim Toivim, or Hashem remembers your Maisim Toivim from before. Now listen to this. Very positive. The Afilut Shamos V'Tishim V'Tishim Alamdim Olav Choiva. Wow. Even if you have, let's say in Shemaim, there's a judgment, there's a din, even with what? Even with a person who's sick in bed with a migraine. Elamai, 999 are against him, and one is pro him. There's only one in the one defender and 999 prosecutors. That one Hashem is going to listen to. Shenema, it says, Im yesh olav malach melitz echad mini elef. Even if there's one malach melitz, melitz is good, is a sanegar, yeah, is a defender. 1 out of 1,000, lahagid lodem yoshroi, to tell the person his honesty, his good side. Hashem will save him. When Hashem says, let's redeem him, the shachas from going down. Now the Gemara says even more. Which means, let's say this malach is the malach of a mitzvah. Yeah, we all know, from kindergarten when we're ready to learn, you have the good angels, the bad angels, yeah. So let's say you have an angel of what? Of brachas. And the way the brachas look, yeah. So let's say 99% of the good malach of a mitzvah is really bad. You did the mitzvah so badly. You did a favor to your friend. So the mitzvah is very impure. Even in that good malach, there's 99% negativity and only 1% or 1,000, even less. Even then you're saved. Wow. In other words, it's not a stira. When you just have a migraine in bed, on one hand, it's a regular thing. Oh, I'll just take Acamol and be okay. It's both. On one hand, you're lying in bed, unable. You may stay like that for your whole life. And there are such stories. Yeah, all of a sudden he goes to test and realizes it's something worse. It's a brain tumor. Yeah, these things happen today too. I'm sorry. On the other hand, yeah, you need Yeshua, you need a malach, but because it's not so severe, even a little bit of a malach, 1,000 out of 1,000 is good enough. Because this is not real shas sakonuk doilo. This is, sakonuk tano. However, you do say a goimel when you get out of 3 days in bed. According to Ben Yisrael Goimel, ask your rabbi. Shenema meilitz echad mini elef. Rashi points out that meilitz echad mini elef means even within the malach, the meilitz of the malach, the good side of the malach is also mini elef. Rashi points out it doesn't say meilitz echad mini elef. It says the order of the words malach, meilitz echad mini elef. In other words, the meilitz of him is 1 of 1,000. Is 1,000 parts. Okay. Back to the women and their problems. Al sholosh averos noshim, it says yoldois. There are 3 averos. Listen carefully to the words. Yeah, lesson in Hebrew. There are 3 averos that women die yoldois. What's yoldois? Machleket yoldot. What is that? When they give birth, like the Mishnah. Noshim says yeladot, meaning what? When they're young. Nothing to do with birth. There are 3 averos. Yeah, the women die when they're young, and it's the same averos of the Mishnah. Right? And that is exactly the question of our Mishnah. In other words, according to one version is the version we have in the Mishnah of what? At childbirth. The other version says no, even not at childbirth. In other words, even when the stam young, why did they die young? A woman died young, tragedy. Why is that? It's what most probably one of the 3 averos, yolodos, meaning not at the time of weakness, even stam during lifetime. It's all different hashkafa. Rav Acha says, the oven shemechabses tzos bnei b'Shabbos. Rabacha says, either arguing in the Mishnah or adding to the Mishnah, he says because they tend to mechabses, they wash the tsoya, the dirty diapers, before, remember the times before disposable diapers. I don't, yeah. So mechabses tzos bnei, they wash the dirty clothes of the kids on Shabbos b'Shabbos. Some say ashikar nar nekodesh arna. In other words, those young women, they call Oren a Kodesh and Aron a cupboard, as if it's a whole thing, not Oren a Kodesh or Oron. They call it Aron, as if it's a regular piece of furniture. They don't regard the Torah, what's inside the Oron? The Torah. So that's very, very choshuv. They kilo call it the Aron. Unbelievable. They can die just because of that. We have to see how careful we have to be when relating to Dvarim Shebakdusha. The Gemara says people don't know that. People, I guess sometimes Avrechim, I get such a shock. They call Rabbanim without saying the Rov. And the Gemara says in Sanhedrin, that's Mamash Apikaris, Enochel Kol Olamaba. Rav was a real Rav, and you call him, let's say the Rav's name is Rubinstein. I really don't mean anybody. I don't know. Rubinstein. I don't know. What did Rubinstein say? It's a very severe thing. She said, Rav Rubinstein. Yeah, it's mamash. Wow. For the kids, it's extremely uneducational. That's beside the point. But even for yourself, I'm saying everything of Kedusha has to be treated with Kedusha. Tanya, Rabbi Shmuel ben Loza Oimer. I'm sorry, we're a bit over time, but we'll finish soon. Be'oven shnei dvorim ame harotzes meisim. There are two reasons, two averos, of that are the cause for the death of a meratzim. Al shikor na'arna kodesh arna, meaning it's not a women's problem. The husbands also call her in kodesh arna. But shikor in the Beis HaKnesses Beit Am. They call the shul, the synagogue, the shul. They call it Beis Am, the gathering place of the nation. That's a club. That's where guys meet. No, that's where I meet because they probably talk in shul. For them, it's a meeting place, right? It's where all the guys come together to shmuz, l'aleinu. So just by calling the shul Beit Am, the public place, the public center, matnas, as if the shul is some kind of meeting place, that alone is the cause for death, l'aleinu. There are three bidkei. There are two versions here. Shloisha bidkei misa, meaning there are three reasons why a woman is being tested livdok. Right? Look at Rashi. Avanis sheboidkin b'shas hakono, right? There are three reasons why the woman is checked, and when she's at birth, HaKadosh Baruch Hu checks those three things. We know what they are. The Amri lo shlosha divkei misa. Lehadbik means they kilu stick to her and bring the misa closer. In Hebrew, by the way, I don't know if you know, meaning you know, lehadbik, it's lehadbik, to stick. Lehadbik also means to close the gap. You know that? Lehadbikoto, somebody is running, and imadbikoto means that I close the gap. That's in Hebrew. Yeah, you know that. So now, they keilu stick to her, they run after her, they bring her death earlier than expected. They close the gap on her and brings the death earlier. What are they? Now we're closing the circle of what I said before. Remember we said a few lines ago? Ablazo says yelodos. Yelodos means nothing to do with birth. When they're young, the death keilu comes closer and closes the gap, and then when they're young, nothing to do with birth, and that is nidbak bahem, close, quick. And if you say boydek, that's a karmishna. Boydek means when your time of birth, let's check if you deserve or you don't deserve to live. That I'll leave for tomorrow. There's no shir. Okay, Seder. We're over time a little bit, but thank you. Shkoyach for coming. Pesach kol hakavod. Do you want to shir? Be mamish big Mesiras Nefesh if you want to do shir Sunday afternoon, or it's too crazy. Sunday night we're walking with a candle, crawling with a candle. What do you say? Sunday afternoon? It's very very crazy, but no, probably no. I doubt it. The question is Chol HaMoed. Because we're starting a new parak in the middle of Chol HaMoed. What do you think? Yes, Shefsharut. I'm not dafka. I'm playing by your tune. I'm dancing by your tune, by your flute. What do you say? When is Chol HaMoed? Tuesday night is the first night of Chol HaMoed. No, that's Matzah Yom Tov. Yom Tov is Tuesday. Tuesday night. I'm doing this on purpose online so other people can also go. Tuesday's Yom Tov. Monday, not Tuesday. Yeah. Okay, and Matzah is crazy, but maybe Wednesday, Thursday? We'll try. We'll be in touch. Yeah. You want? We'll try. We'll see. Let's assume that there is shir also, 9:20, Wednesday and Thursday. If not, I will let you know. But let's assume yes. If not, I'll let you know. Maybe we have outings, the kids, I don't know, but let's assume yes. And if not, I'll let you know. Bli neder. Okay, my achrayis. Bli neder. לא נראה לי, הוא לא יכול, very questionable. We still, Baruch Hashem, we've advanced a lot, but there's still more to do. I want to visit my mother also tomorrow, whatever. Atzlacho bracha. Thank you to everybody on YouTube that watches us. Atzlacho, may we all be seeing Mashiach.